Hello, how you doing? It's MrDoTheMath here, and today we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. All right? So, when you were in the 8th grade, what did they tell you about parallel lines? What do you know about parallel lines?
They never cross.
They never cross, right? Parallel lines never touch. Parallel lines never touch, right? That's a parallel, right? What did you learn about perpendicular lines? What's up with perpendicular lines?
They cross each other.
Where at? How?
At a right angle.
Right? They form a right angle, right? They cross to form a right angle, right? So parallel lines never touch. Perpendicular lines form a right angle, right? That's what you learn in middle school, right? Now, here's the sign for parallel lines. It's these two lines here. And this is the sign for perpendicular lines, right? Now, in Algebra 1, we're going to talk about the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines, right? So here's the deal. Parallel lines have exactly the same slope. Parallel lines have the same slope. The slope is the same. So, if one line has a slope of 2/3, the other line is also going to have a slope of 2/3. That means they're parallel. They're moving in the same direction and they're not going to touch. They're never going to touch. For perpendicular lines, they have the opposite reciprocal slope, right? Opposite means that if line 1 has a slope of 2/3, line 2 is going to have a negative slope. So if 2/3 is positive, if line 1 is positive, line 2 is going to be negative. Reciprocal means that it flips, right? So if it's 2/3 here, this was going to be flipped to be 3/2. Okay? So, again, in that box it says this means that one slope is going to, if one's positive, one slope's going to be positive, the other slope's going to be negative for perpendicular lines, right? And it's going to be flipped. So if this is 2/3, the other one's going to be 3/2. Okay? Thank you. All right. All right, Dejan, you skipped the class. All right. All right, so is everybody good? All right, so let's test it out. Let's see if you get it. All right, if I had a line that was 3/5 and it was parallel, what would this line slope be?
5/3.
If it's parallel,
3/5.
it'll be 3/5. Right. Now, if I had a line that was -2/5, what would its perpendicular slope be? Yeah. 5/2? It's almost the same. Remember, it has to be opposite. So if it's negative here, this one got to be positive. So it'll be positive 5/2. Okay? So again, parallel, the same. Perpendicular, opposite, reciprocal. So opposite, so if it's negative, it's positive, it flips. Okay? All right, let's practice. All right, so let's look at number 1. Number 1, we got 3 lines. We got line A, we got line B, and we got line C. All right? We're trying to see if these lines are parallel. Okay? So the first things we need to do is we need to identify 2 points on this line. So on line A, give me a point. What's the point on line A? What do you see? You don't see the point on line A? Do you see line A? 0,5. 0,5 is a point, and the other point is what? 2, 0. Right. For line B, you have, give me the point.
3/4.
Thank you. 3, 4, and 5, 0. And then line C, 4, 6, and 5, 4. All right. So the first thing you have to do in order to figure out if lines are parallel or perpendicular is you need to find the slope, right? You need to find the slope. Do you remember the slope formula? M equals, you talked about it yesterday, Nivea. The slope formula. Y2
X2.
minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Okay? So we have to use the slope formula to figure out what these slopes are. Alright, so let's do the math. Alright, so for this one, it's Y2, 0 minus Y1 over 5, and X2 minus X1. Right? So when we do this math here, we'll get negative 5 over 2. That's the slope for line A. Alright, for line B, Y2 minus Y1, 4 over X2 minus X1. Alright? Then we do the math here. 0 minus 4 is negative 4, and 5 minus 3 is 2. Right? That simplifies to be negative 2 over 1. Okay? And then line C, Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Okay? So we get 4 minus 6 is negative 2, 5 minus 4, 1. Okay? So we have our slopes. Line A slope is negative 5 over 2. Line B slope is negative 2 over 1. And line C slope is negative 2 over 1. So what can we say about line A, B, and C? Are they parallel? Which ones are parallel?
B
and C.
Yes. Line B is parallel to line C. Right? That's what we're doing. Okay? Let's do some more. Let's look at number 2. Number 2, we got line A passing through negative 1, 3 and 1, 9. Right? We got line B passing through negative 2, 12 and negative 1, 14. And then we got line C passing through 3, 8 and 6, 10. Alright? Passing through means these are the points on this line, these are the points on line B, and these are the points on line C. Right? We're going to use the slope formula to figure out if these lines are parallel to each other. Okay? So again, let's go. So we got Y2, 9 minus Y1, 3 over X2, 1 minus X1. So minus negative 1. Okay? This one. Oh, let's do it. Here we go. 9 minus 3 is 6. And then this is 1 plus 1, which is over 2. So it's going to give you 3 as a slope. Okay? Here we got Y2, 14 minus Y1, 12 over X2, negative 1 minus negative 2. Minus negative 2 makes that plus 2. Right? So we're going to end up with 14 minus 12, which is 2, and negative 1 plus 2, which is 1. So this is 2 over 1. This is 3 over 1. Then the last one, Y2, 10 minus Y1, 8 over X2, 6 minus X1, 3. We good so far? Everybody good so far? Give me a head nod. Good? All right, cool. So it's 10 minus 8, which is 2.
2 over 3.
6 minus 3.
2 over 3.
2 over 3. All right, so look. We got the slope of line A, 3 over 1. The slope of line B, 2 over 1. And the slope of line C is 2 over 3. What's the relationship between these 3 lines? Are they parallel?
No.
Are they perpendicular?
Yes.
They are perpendicular?
No.
They're not perpendicular?
No.
Right. So then the situation is they're neither. Right? They're neither parallel or perpendicular. They will intersect. They just won't intersect to make a 90-degree angle. Right? These are not the same. Okay? All right. Let's look at number 3. Let's go. I'll stay over here. Number 3. Let's look at number 3. All right, so number 3. Number 3, we have equations. So now we're going to figure out if lines are parallel or perpendicular based on looking at equations. So for line A's equation is going to be 3y minus x equals 6. Line B, you got the equation 3y equals x plus 18. And then line C, you have the equation 3y minus 2x equals 9, right? Now, what we have to do is find the slope out of these equations, right? So in order to do so, we have to change these to look like this, y equals mx plus b. So we have to change them to slope-intercept. We got to change all of these to be equal to y, okay? So for this one, what's the first thing I need to do to start the process? Yeah, James?
You need to get the equal sign over to where the negative sign is, or the minus sign.
Yeah, so we want to move this x over, right? So we're going to add x to both sides. So we're going to get 3y equals x plus 6. And then what? Divide by what?
3.
Yeah. Divide everything by 3. So the equation is going to be y equals 1/3 x plus 2. 6 over 3 is 2. All right? Everybody gets so far. So here, the slope for line A is what? Say it.
1/3.
Yeah, 1/3 is the slope. Good. Now for this one, everything's over here. We just got to get this y by itself. So how would we get this y by itself for line B? Yeah, divide everything by 3. Right? So now we're going to end up with y equals 1/3 x plus 6. Because 18 divided by 3 is 6. Right? Now, the slope for line B is what? 1/3. 1/3. Okay? Now for the last one, we're going to have to do the same thing we did up here and then divide as well. So we're going to move this 2x over. So we're going to add 2x to both sides. Right? And we're going to get 3y equals 2x plus 9. Right? And then divide everything by 3. Divide by 3. You're going to get y equals 2/3 x plus 3. What's the slope for line C? 2/3. Now, line A has a slope of 1/3, line B has a slope of 1/3, and line C has a slope of 2/3. So, are they parallel or perpendicular? Who's parallel?
The A and B.
A and B are parallel. Right. Good. So, we can say line A is parallel to line B. Good. Right. Because parallel means the slopes are the same. Okay? Let's look at some perpendicular examples. All right. Let's look at number 4. All right? Let's look at number 4. In number 4, right, we have 3 lines. We have line A, B, and C. Do you guys see what the points are for line A?
Yeah.
All right, help me out. Number 4, line A. What's the point? 2, 5. And what's the other point? Say it again. Yeah. That's not quite it. For line A is at the bottom. What's the first point?
2, 0.
Negative 1, 1 is the point, right? And then what's the second point? 2, 0. Good. Line B. What's the point? 0, 5.
3, 4.
and 3, 4. Good. And then line C.
0, 0, and 3, 4.
Yep, 0, 0, and what is it?
3, 4.
2, 5.
2, 5.
Those sync up. Right. 2, 5. Okay. To figure out the slope when given 2 points, you use the slope formula. Right? So it'll be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Minus negative makes it plus. All right? So this slope is going to be negative 1 over 3, 1/3. Okay? How many students had that before I did it? All right? For this one, y2, 4 minus y1, 5 over x2, 3 minus 0, x1. 4 minus 5, negative 1. 3 minus 0, 3. The last one, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You're going to end up with 5 over 2. What can we conclude about these 3 lines?
That's one parallel.
One's parallel. Which ones are parallel?
A and B.
A and B are parallel. Right. Line A is parallel to line B. Good. All right. Let's check out number 5. All right. Number 5. Can you see me, James?
Yes.
No. Can you see me? Look on. All right. Here we go. Line A passes through 210 and 413. Line B passes through, let's move it down some because we'll work it out underneath. Line B passes through 4-9 and 6-12. And line C passes through 2-10 and 4-9. All right? How am I going to set up this first one? What am I going to do?
Y2 minus Y1.
Y2 minus Y1. What's Y2?
13.
Minus Y1?
10.
10. What's X2?
4.
Minus what?
2.
2. Good. Do the math. 13 minus 10, 3. And then 4 minus 2, 2. So M of A is 3 over 2. Right? For this one, Y2 is what? 12 minus what? 9. And then we have 6 minus what? 4. 12 minus 9 gives us 3. 6 minus 4, 2. Right? So, slope for line B is 3 over 2. Those are the same. Let's look at this last one. Y2, 9 minus Y1, 10. And then X2,
4.
X1,
2.
2. 9 minus 10, negative 1. 4 minus 2, 2. So the slope for line C is negative 1/2. What's the relationship between A, B, and C?
And
A and B are parallel again, right? So line A is parallel to line B. Good. I hope we get a perpendicular situation this next one. All right. Let's look at number 6. Where do we want to put number 6 at? All right, let's come over here to do number 6. Number 6 is a lot like number 3. We have 3 equations, and we're going to find the slope from those 3 equations. Okay? So, again, like number 3, we're going to have to change these equations to be y equals mx plus b. Okay? So, here we go. Line A. Line A says y equals 6x minus 2. Line B says 6y equals negative x. And line C says y plus 6x equals 1. Okay? What's up with number line A? Is it in slope-intercept form already? Yeah, it says y equals. So from here, we can pull the slope out. What's the slope for line A? 6, right? 6 over 1 is the slope. Okay? Let's look at line B. Line B says 6y equals negative x. How do I set this equal to just y? What do I need to do? Yeah, divide by 6. Is that what you was going to say, Carl? Divide by 6. So now your slope, your equation says y equals negative 1x over 6. And that's it. So m of b, the slope of b is what? Negative 1/6. Right? It's the last one. How do we set this equal to y? Yeah, Carl. Just say it.
I don't know.
You raised your hand though.
Yeah, but
Say what you was thinking.
subtract
Subtract what?
6.
Yeah. Good. Subtract 6x. Right. Minus 6x to both sides. See? You know what you're doing. So then y is going to equal negative 6x plus 1. Right? So then the slope here, the slope for C is what? Negative 6 over 1. Now, let's look at all of these. Let's look at these slopes. What's the relationship between A, B, and C? Yeah, Vanessa.
The lines are perpendicular.
Which ones are perpendicular?
B and C.
B and C are perpendicular?
I mean, A and B.
A and B are perpendicular. Y'all agree? Look, yeah. MA is 6 over 1. MB is negative 1 over 6. It's flipped and it's opposite. So A is perpendicular to B. Very good. And that's it right now, right? This is how we identify if lines are parallel or perpendicular. Parallel, exactly the same slope. Perpendicular, opposite reciprocal. Okay? If you have any more questions, comment below. Let's do the math out. You stop it.